So you have your workers' compensation deposition coming up. Well, this is the place for you. This video series, Acing Your Work Comp Deposition, will tell you exactly what you need to know from introduction all the way through to the deposition and empower you to ace your deposition. This video is the introduction to deposition, where you learn what is a deposition, why is it being held, what do I expect, all those introductory things. Hi, I'm Naomi from Gonzalez Law, Legal Insights from California Attorneys. I'm so excited for this video series. I have been waiting to do this deposition series, and it is finally here, and it is gonna be awesome. It's a 7-part series, starting with this one, Introduction to Deposition. Part 2, how do I prepare for my deposition? Part 3, how do attorneys prepare their clients for depositions? Part 4, the deposition end and what to expect afterward. Part 5, mistakes to avoid in your deposition. 6, my own deposition story, where I share with you when I was actually deposed way back in the day. And part 7, mock deposition. Everybody tells you their tips for deposition, but nobody actually shows you what to expect. It's going to use our staff and attorneys as actors to bring you into the deposition room ahead of time so that you can see really what to expect. This video is the ultimate in our mission to empower clients everywhere through education on the legal process. Please support us in our mission by liking this video so that more people can ace their deposition. Introduction to deposition. You probably have received in the mail a notice of deposition that looks something like this, and you might be wondering, what does this mean? It looks pretty formal. It might be a little bit intimidating. Let me go ahead and assure you that this is a very normal thing. You're not being like countersued or anything like that. It's gonna say a lot of things that it wants you to bring. Don't worry about any of that. And workers' compensation is very informal. Your attorney may have provided some of that information already, so you really only have to worry about bringing your ID and any information your attorney actually wants you to bring. We will go more into what to bring in the next video. So what is a deposition? A deposition is basically an opportunity for the other side to ask you questions, find out more about your case. It is going to be in a question and answer format, and the twist is it's going to be under oath. So your statements can be used in court, and they will be used against you if you say something that's not true. What a deposition is not is an opportunity for the defense to come and try to bully you. They're not going to be yelling at you or trying to intimidate you. If they attempt to do so, you have your attorney there that will protect you from that. So why am I being deposed? Why is this even taking place? The deposition is a very normal part of a workers' compensation case. It usually happens after a defense attorney has been hired to represent their clients, either in the 90-day decision period or before a QME evaluation. You filed a work injury, and now the defense has the obligation to investigate. This is part of the discovery process. Before trial, this discovery process is where both sides can try to get all the information they need to put on their arguments at trial. So this deposition is a very key instrument for both sides. It doesn't mean that anything's gone wrong, and it means that they're taking your case seriously. So what should you expect at a deposition? In workers' compensation, a deposition usually takes about 1 to 3 hours. It really depends on you to see how much there is to ask. If you are 18 years old and you still live with your parents, don't have any kids of your own, this is your very first job, it's a specific injury, you don't have any prior injuries, we're gonna be done in 30 minutes maybe. Yet, if you are a 64-year-old that changed a job every year of your life, moved every year of your life, injured 10 body parts and have a bunch of prior injuries, well, we might be here for multiple days. Who will be present at the deposition? You, your attorney, the court reporter, and the defense attorney for sure will be there. If you need an interpreter will be there, and the employer is entitled to have an employer representative if they need one. Employer representative is usually somebody from HR or risk management, and it's usually not a big deal. They're observer only. They're not able to ask any questions. So you might ask if you can bring a support person with you. We do hear this a lot, whether you are a young person and you want to bring your parents, if you're married, you want to bring your spouse, if you're an older person and want to bring your adult child with you. I do understand it can be very nerve-wracking and you want somebody there to support you. Feel free to bring them for the drive over, to be there with you while you wait, but they will not be able to be in the actual deposition with you. So just make sure you understand that. Where does the deposition take place? If it's in person, it's going to be in a conference room, usually at either a court reporter's office, your attorney's office, or the defense attorney's office. However, in this day of COVID, lots of times there are going to be video depositions done. You might be at home with your deposition, or you might might be at your attorney's office and everybody else is remote. You can have it where every single person is there remotely, but you can also have a hybrid. There is some flexibility and it can be structured different ways. What should you expect from your attorney during the deposition? The attorney will prepare you for the deposition. They will sit with you during the deposition, listening, sometimes writing notes. Your attorney might sometimes do objections or give you an instruction where they tell you not to answer the question. What the attorney will not do is they will not coach you. They cannot answer questions for you. The more they open their mouth, the weaker your testimony is. So for example, if they ask you, what are your body part injuries? And you say, oh, my neck and my back. Then your attorney says, well, isn't your elbow injured? And you're like, oh yeah, my elbow too. Well, that's gonna make a really weak testimony as opposed to you listing my neck, back, and elbow. The least that your attorney can say, the better, and the stronger your testimony is. At the very end, if there has been any problems or if there's something that needs to be developed further, your attorney can ask some follow-up questions. But if your attorney doesn't ask any, that probably means it went really well. So what questions are they going to ask you at the deposition? Now, this will be covered in greater detail in the next video, but just in general, they're going to ask you your background, medical history, your work history, history for injury of this case, activities of daily living. So who pays for this deposition? Are you going to be stuck with the bill? No, absolutely not. The insurance company will cover the cost of the court reporter, the facility, the video conferencing, interpreter if needed, and they'll cover your attorney fees for the appearance because of Labor Code 5710. If you need to drive to the deposition, the insurance company will pay you back mileage. If you don't have a car and need transportation, that needs to be arranged ahead of time, but the insurance company can cover that. And if you have to miss work to be at the deposition, they will cover wage loss as well. So that's the end of part 1, Introduction to Deposition. I hope this video was helpful for you. If you would like us to represent you at your deposition, give us a call or text this consult and we'll be very happy to discuss that with you. Thank you. Bye. Awesome. On the legal process. Why can I not say this? I'm just too excited, that's why.
It's gonna be awesome.